Okay, firstly, great to have you, Greg. I mean, it's great meeting you. I know it's not easy. You're based out of Australia, doing so many great things. And I will let you speak about all the great things that you're doing, especially with beach hockey.
Great. Well, it's lovely to talk to you from down in Melbourne, Australia. So I'm excited to tell you a bit about beach hockey. It's an amazing development in our sport.
So, tell me more about it. How did you come up with the idea of beach hockey? I know you've been involved in field hockey as well. What sort of motivated you to transition into beach hockey? And you're the president of the World Beach Hockey Federation as well. So, what is it that the organization does? Where is the sport popular? If you could just, fill us up.
All right, let me tell you a bit how we came across beach hockey. So I was coaching National League hockey in the UK in 2013, and they had the Men's World Cup in The Hague in the Netherlands. So my wife and I went across to watch the Men's World Cup, and at the same time they had the inaugural World Beach Hockey Festival. So World Beach Hockey was originally started by Floris Boverlander. He was a Dutch international player, and he started beach hockey. So my wife and I saw 300 Germans, Italians, Dutch, all running around on the beach in this big stadium playing this hybrid game of hockey. So we were quite captivated by it. Of course, we've got some decent beaches in Australia. So I said to my wife, when we get back home, I think we should launch it in Australia. So that's how it sort of came about. We went back home a couple of years later, and we were living up in far north Queensland, the top end of the continent. And we started doing beach hockey in our little regional town we were living in. And we did a come and try. We bought a giant inflatable pitch, put it on the beach, and just did a come and try. Well, we got flooded by the locals, tourists, just people thinking, oh, this is really a lot of fun. The following year, we launched our first tournament. We had 8 junior teams, 8 senior teams. And then 3 or 4 years later, we had 20 junior teams and 20 adult teams. So that was just in the regional part of Queensland, so a very small area. So we decided then to launch it through the whole continent, which is well underway at the moment. And then I got a bit excited. I'm thinking maybe world domination we should look at with the sport. So there were about 6 or 7 countries that were doing beach hockey, but they were just sort of dabbling in it. So I got online and I contacted the 6 countries. So Puerto Rico, Sierra Leone, USA, a few others, and said, if we put together an organisation, would you be part of it? Of course, they all said, yes, what a great idea, let's do it. So that was 2022. Of course, FIH, Federation of International Hockey, run all versions of hockey, including beach hockey. So we had to get their approval to be a recognised organisation. So we contacted them, and in October 23, in Cairo, Egypt, they approved World Beach Hockey to be a recognised organisation to run beach hockey around the world. So it's been
That's brilliant.
that's the
Yeah,
journey that
that's
we've been on.
I've spoken with Floris once during the Olympics last year.
Ah,
And yeah, we didn't get around to having a conversation around beach hockey, but great to see that, he's one of those people involved right from this setup of this organization. But it's great. And, talking about the rules and regulation. So is World Beach Hockey, are the rules same? Penalties, quarters, or is it sort of, have you shortened the format?
well, it's very different to normal field hockey. So it's a five-a-side competition, five-a-side. You can have 8 in a team, but five-a-side. It's played on the sand, of course, and that can be quite intense on the leg. It's quite a good workout. Uh, there are 2 periods of 7.5 minutes, so it's a 15-minute game. You don't wear padding. The goalies, there's no goalkeeping gear. There's no shin guards. You play in bare feet. Uh, you can score anywhere on the pitch. You can throw aerial balls. It's just a really fun, intense way to play hockey. It's exciting.
That's pretty great, and you also mentioned, Greg, that you'll be, coming over to India pretty soon. So, will we see beach hockey expanding into India anytime soon?
Well, 100%. One of the reasons we're coming over is to meet with the president of Hockey India. So we're meeting him in a week's time to talk to him about how we can develop it. But we have a number of people around India who've already put their hands up to say we would like to be involved in running beach hockey. So we'll be talking to people about who's the right fit for our organisation and for hockey in India.
Absolutely. How many member countries do you have currently within the organization?
Well, we've got 50 on board at the moment, 50, which is not bad considering the short time we've been going. We're hoping to have by the start of 2026 about 100 countries. So
That's
it's growing
that's
quickly.
pretty great. That is
Mm.
pretty great, Greg. I mean, when talking about the logistics, support, and obviously, in terms of sponsorship, etc., how willing are the brands you've spoken with, or you're speaking with now, or in the past, to sponsor and to come on board of these tournaments? Because obviously, from the sound of it, it looks fun. It's very sports tourism prospect as well. Beach, and obviously Australia has lovely beaches, and beaches around the world are pretty good as well. So, what has been the response from big brands around this?
Well, we're just making submissions to some of the big brands at the moment, and of course, look, that's a process in itself. You don't walk into Coca-Cola or Nike tomorrow and say, "Give us some money because this is who we are." So we're in the submission process, but we've been approached by hotels, um, local companies, especially are really interested, food companies, accommodation, because they see the benefit of. You're right. It's all about tourism, running an event, bringing tourists into that particular community. They eat the food, they stay in the accommodation, they have some fun. It's a good win-win for certainly the local businesses.
Absolutely, Greg. And what is the vision which you've set for the organization for future? I mean, is the plan to break into the Olympics, get recognized by IOC one day? What is the future vision?
Well, look, our big vision at the moment is to get more, especially kids, to play hockey. The great thing about beach hockey, we know hockey is a technical sport. It's not easy for somebody to pick up unless they've trained and played or they come from a hockey background. Beach hockey, you could pick up a stick and do beach hockey really easily. And that's been our experience in Australia. So we've had almost in an uptake of up to 40 to 50% of first time players that have never picked up a stick who then have said, "Oh, tell me a bit more about 11-a-side hockey or tell me about indoor hockey." So, one of the benefits, our vision is to get more kids and adults, of course, playing hockey because that's our sport. Now, there is, of course, looking at the big picture, there is we found out last year that the International Olympic Committee run the World Beach Games. So it's the Olympics for beach sports. So beach volleyball, beach tennis, beach rugby, beach soccer. They've had two major events. We've applied to be in the next one, which might be 2027 or 28. So for somebody in India or Australia that aspires to play in the Olympics, there's a chance that they could represent their country in the World Beach Games. So that's the ultimate aspiration.
That's pretty great. And Greg, talking about, have you seen many players who are hockey field players transition into this? Like,
Oh,
we've seen a lot of tennis players playing pickleball and paddle. So, is it the same with world beach hockey as well?
100%. And it's interesting. You would think that the traditional hockey player would dominate and leave, the first timers behind, but it becomes a real interesting community mix. So they still enjoy playing this fun game. Hockey is about fun. It should always be about fun. And if you can play on the beach and you can have a swim, you can have a picnic, you're with your family or friends, it's great. But we have had a lot of state, national, and club players who've said, "I'd like to play beach hockey because it looks like a lot of fun." They could do it in the pre-season or post after the end of the season when they're finished.
That's pretty great. Well, thank you, Greg. I think you gave us a lot of information about what is it that you do. It was lovely talking to you. And yes, I hope, someone from India, of course, participates and we participate in the team. And I hope we go stronger. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And if anyone wants to have a look at beach hockey, they can go online to www.worldbeachhockey.org.
Thank you so much. Thank you.